have a dream, and it's made of everything that's made you. Hardship, friendship, so much love. That's your ticket to everything. This is my future.
This is gonna be the best night of your life.
What's up? I'm Cole Carter.
Congratulations on your feature film debut, by the way. Does this guy know what he was doing?
For sure.
Because he came from Catfish, and we know him from those kinds. We know him from his viral YouTube videos and things like that. But what was it like having this guy direct you?
It was great because Max has a real sense for what's real. That was really poetic of me. He knows authenticity when he sees it, and I think that the sort of documentary style way that he shoots really lent itself to this film and made it feel honest. So it was fun. It was really fun to work with Max. He also knows tons about this world and about the music. So.
Yeah, I mean, you in general, and I think this film in general, it really feels like it has the pulse on kind of what's now. I don't think it could have been released 10 years ago, or really even 10 years from now. And I think it really captures kind of how things are right now. And I think the timing of it was perfect.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, aside from saying thank you for that compliment, I've spent the last few years kind of traveling around America doing Catfish, and most of those weeks are spent hanging out with kids in their early 20s who are trying to figure out what to do with their lives. And so it was a theme and a subject that felt very comfortable for me to talk about, and I definitely worked a lot of that into the movie.
And obviously Chicago being the birthplace of house, as you guys were talking down there. I think another thing about this movie that was really special is that it was able to kind of merge EDM, but with also live music and live sounds. And I think that was really special, and him finding a signature track toward the end. And I think that was neat, because it's always like, is electronic music a fad? Is live music dead? And I think you did a really cool thing to kind of merge the notions of digitally created music with what actually happens in the world.
Thanks. Yeah, I wish we could kind of take credit for that, but a lot of musicians do, in fact, do what Zac's character does at the end of the film. I mean, electronic music is music. It's art, just like any other art or medium, and it just is incorporating the computer or digital elements into it. And I hope what the film does is demystify a little bit the process and the art of electronic music for the greater audience.
And for that final track that he did, you had a couple intense weeks with a Pyramid.
Yeah.
To really find that sound.
Yeah. Pyramid was someone whose music I really admired from afar for a while, and then when we were considering who would do the track, Zac's character's track. I started speaking with him, and he got really enthusiastic and sending me tracks, and he's in Paris and I was in LA, and eventually I flew him over to LA, and we worked for a couple weeks just making the track out of different sounds. Spoiler alert, sorry. And we got it to a point where I think it hopefully delivers the emotional catharsis that Zac's character needs to release at the end of the movie.
And them James gave you a kind of a crash course in spinning. Were you able to pick up pretty quickly and learn to fill the role?
I did. I gave it my best. I had a little bit of time to learn, but he was a great coach. He's just a super chill guy, and he taught me how to use the decks properly. I feel like I looked like I could use them authentically, and I really did put a lot of work into making it feel real, and I wanted to feel authentic.
You sold it very well.
Thank you, man.
When you read for Max Joseph for this role, he said that you He liked your subtlety and your
Oh
complexity.
God, what did he say? I'm so
He
scared.
said he liked your subtlety and
Okay,
complexity,
that's cool.
and you know, the emotional arc that you could help bring to the story. You know, why did you fall in love with the character?
I related to Sophie. I mean, I think that, she really speaks to me on many different levels. Obviously, our generation, we're a post-recession generation. I went to college the year the recession hit, and a lot of my friends who were graduating were moving back and working at the shitty coffee shop they had been into at high school. So I definitely related to that. I did do 1 year of college like her. But also I just like that she kind of doesn't know what she wants. And by the end of the movie, she still doesn't. But she makes sacrifices of things that, she had been identifying herself with that made her comfortable to sort of take the right steps to start to figure out who she is, which I think is really brave. And you don't get to see that story a lot of the time.
And as Cole is figuring out who he is, his signature track, he says to the Summerfest crowd, he says, aren't we all better than this? And I think I saw that a lot in your character too, because your character is, why didn't you go back to school? And I think Sophie was also dealing with, aren't you better than being this kind of jerk DJ's girlfriend and being his assistant? And so.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think she's dealing with that. There's a line also when she's talking to Cole, and he's like, oh, I didn't need to go to college. It's a waste of time. And she says, well, I guess if you're doing something better. And I think that's a question. She kind of throws it at him, but it's really one that she's posing to herself.
And then what do you think about, the trap between the guy you were with and the guy that you were falling for?
I mean, that part is really hard for me to talk about because I feel like Sophie really loves James, Wes Bentley's character, and is really kind of torn up. And it's also the way she falls in love with Cole is by sort of accepting herself, that she's not as old and grown up as she'd like to be. And that's sort of the interesting part of it to me.